I am outside enjoying the beautiful weather. The sun's about ready to pop over the trees. Gorgeous morning. And the last couple of days, I've had several references to my biology degree. Now, I have a biology degree. I am not a biologist. I've only worked in the industry whilst I was getting my degree, which I worked full-time while I got my degree, so it took like 10 years. Had 3 kids during that time. It was awesome. Loved my education, but I have never been employed as a biologist. However, that does not mean that I don't use it. So I was talking with a young employee, and she was struggling because she had been attempting to get into a field of study. Excuse me, need some coffee. She was attempting to get into a field of study, and she didn't make it. And so now she was just trying to figure out what it is that she's going to do with her life. And that's an important decision. I'm not going to discount that. But as you get older, you realize that it's all flux, it's all fluid. You can do whatever the heck it is you want to. Anyway, so we were talking. It's like, okay, well, what interests you? What things have been pulling on you? And she's like, well, the natural world. And which is a huge step away from what she was studying to get into, which I found curious. But the natural world. And so I said, oh, I have a degree in biology. And so we started having a discussion about that. And I let her know, I use this biology degree all the time, like on a daily basis. So of course she was curious how I use my biology degree. And it's like, well, I had a coffee bar within my previous business. It had an espresso machine, which is basically a barometric meter. And so I talked to her about watching birds going across. And it's like, I know exactly what's going on. 2 little birds chasing a big bird. What's happening? Anyway, so it's like I use it constantly. So if it's about weather, if it's about birds, if it's about the plants that I'm growing, and that's just the natural world. And then if you flip over to the interior biology, you're getting to go through menopause right now. Cheers to that. Oh my gosh. And all the things that comes up, you go through several shifts within your lifetime of what happens naturally, what worked 10 years ago might not be working now, working as well, and so shifting. And so it ended up being this lovely conversation. And I told her it's a tough degree, but it's an awesome degree, but she needs to choose whatever it is that speaks to her and go from there. She's going to a great college. She has a lot of opportunities within that college to explore. And then another new employee, he was finishing up his lunch over by my desk, which was kind of sweet that he decided to plop down in the chair next to my desk and just read. And I thought that was sweet. But what he was reading, it was a Gabor Mate book, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love him. I've heard him speak. I have his book, When the Body Says No, What Do You Think? And we go into this great discussion of psychology mixed with biology, because that's really what he focuses on, and all the different aspects of like cancer showing up in your body if you don't diffuse the stress, and definitely not, I never want to place it upon the person that's going through cancer that they've done something wrong, because that's just bullshit. My mom died of cancer, so for God's sake, I'm not gonna tell anybody that they didn't do enough. My mom was always working towards her health, and still. So I'm out here with the critters, so sometimes I get a spider. But we had this lovely conversation as far as there are things that you can do to help mitigate. And as I'm going through this menopausal time, there's a variety of things. And so he was curious about what the things are that I do. So I thought I would share some of them with you. Number one, that there's not a guarantee. There's just not a guarantee that that will save you from getting cancer or some disease as we age. That's part of the aging process, is the breakdown of cells. But some of the things that I do to help, it waxes and wanes, right? There's sometimes I do really well and sometimes I really don't. Menopause has kind of put a little wrench in the system, and so I have weight gain, which could go to a variety of things, which is like lack of consistent good sleep. Alcohol is affecting me differently and adding some weight to me. I'm in the midst of writing a book on cocktails, and so I really just need to finish that. So I'm not so tempted to go, oh my gosh, we gotta try this one, make sure that the recipe is correct, right? So there's that. So alcohol hits me differently. I've been fairly gluten-free for several years, and that makes a difference in my life. But other things that I do is hula hoop. I like hula hoops. So I used to have one, and then I moved, and I guess I got rid of it. So I purchased a new one, so I've been hula hooping, and that's just fun, right? However you can bring levity and joy to your life, especially if working out has a grueling feel to it, right? Sometimes. So I believe in making things fun. So hula hooping, I've consistently do yoga 2 times a week. I teach, and then every morning I have my own shorter practice that I do. I lift heavy things, and sometimes I lift heavy things better than others, but it's really good for my bone density and it's really good for my muscle mass. So I'm improving upon that. And that's part of it, right? We're humans. We're never going to get this perfect. And that's the beauty of being human, is we're never perfect. I think the flaws that we have are even lots of times more gorgeous. I mean, there's whole venues of art that have to do, the wabi-sabi. Shortening my eating window, so giving myself like 9 hours to eat. Sorry, bugs crawling. As long as they're not ticks, I'm fine. But shortening the eating window seems to really help. I seem to sleep better I know it sounds so old, guys, but if I stop eating earlier in the evening, it seems like I sleep better. And then if I sleep better, if I am well slept, then I actually eat better, I feel better. I mean, it's just this, it's amazing how circular it all is. But all of this is amplified by me having a biology degree. And a lot of people can gain this type of knowledge just by reading and discovering and going down crazy wormholes and so forth. But I am so appreciative of having that degree and how it all works. And I just found it really curious that there was a variety of questions from outside folks that aren't within my normal circle. But it was like, wow, this is really cool. So I thought I should share this with you, because maybe that's why I had all those questions, is so I would come forward and share with you a little bit of my knowings, my noticings of this world. Anyway, there you go, guys. Those are my ponderings for this morning. I'm going to sit here, finish drinking my coffee before it goes real cold. Have a fantastic day.